Hello students, last class we discussed about acquired and inherited traits, right? Today we'll be seeing about evolution and some of the evidences of evolutions. Okay, so evolution is a biological theory that states that all organisms on earth, that is plant and animals, have a common origin, and the difference today are the result of modification that occurred in the successive generation. So over generation of generation there will be some changes due to which evolution is created, a new organism is formed. There is evidence of evolution that can prove this. Evolution claims that there has been a genetic variation, yes, because of genes variation and the traits being transferred to the offspring. So because of the traits there is some variation in the new formed organisms. So evolution claims that there has been a genetic variation that brings about the difference in physical characteristics of different species. So evidence of evolution, we can broadly group this evidence of evolution into 5 broad categories. So that is a relationship between organism, anatomy and morphology. In this we'll be seeing about homologous organs, analogous organ, vestigial organ, atavism, and third one is genetic, fourth one is paleontology, that is study of fossil, and fifth one embryology. So the thing is, first one is a relationship between organism. The theory of evolution says that all living organisms alive today have originated from a single ancestor, from a single organism. The different types of organisms have been evolved. It's a theory, okay? There are many similarities to prove these common origins. That is, all livings are made up of cells. The structure and functioning of individual organelles of cell remain the same in all organisms except with a few variation. And cells of same kind and function forms tissues in an all organism. All organisms grow, reproduce and multiply. All organisms are able to perform metabolism and generate energy to be able to live and thrive. Next, anatomy and morphology, that is, evolution is also proved by similarities in the anatomy and morphology of different animals and plants due to the presence of homologous organ. Let's see. Homologous organ. The organ which perform different functions in different species but have similar basic structure and similar embryonic origin are called homologous organ. With an example, I'll tell you clearly. The organism which perform different function in different species but have a similar basic structure and similar embryonic origin are called homologous organ. There are a number of organs in different groups of animals or plants which have similar basic design but are used for different purposes by the processors. Let's see the example. For example, consider the forelimb of a frog or a lizard, a bird and a human being show similarity in basic structures. These organs perform entirely different functions, right? The forelimbs of a frog, lizard, bird and human being, they are similar in structure, but their function is totally different. Example, forelimb of a frog help the animal to prop up the front end of the body at rest and also act as a shock absorber when an animal lands on the ground after a jump, after a leap. Yes? Next, the forelimbs of a lizard are modified for creeping movements. You might have seen the forelimbs of lizard for creeping movements on the wall as well as in the floor. The forelimbs of a bird are modified for flying purposes. The forelimbs of a human being are used for grasping. So, the forelimbs of a frog, a lizard, a bird, and a human being are therefore homologous organ. The basic similarities in the forelimbs of these different vertebrates indicates that all the vertebrates have a common ancestry. That is, they have evolved from a common ancestor who had a 5-digit or pentadactyl limbs. 5-digited or pentadactyl limbs. Pentadactyl limbs of ancestral vertebrate become modified according to the special needs of the subsequent generation during the course of evolution. The modification in the limbs in these vertebrates include reduction in the number of digits. So these are the modification that 5-digited limbs have been modified. Reduction in the number of digits, fusion of certain bones. Some bones have been missed out or evolved or changed or merged. Fusion of certain bones, and the external form. Look at the hand and look at the bird wings. So these are the external appearance. Clear? So this is all about homologous organ. Plants also have homologous organs. For example, a thorn of bougainvillea plant. Bougainvillea, you might have seen that paper flower plant, right? Paper flower, pink color. Yeah. A thorn of bougainvillea plant and the tendril of passiflora plant are homologous organs. Both these perform different functions but have similar basic structural design. That is, both are modified branches. Clear? This is all about homologous organ. Next, we are going to see about analogous organ. The organ which acquire different in fundamental structures and embryonic origin, but perform same function. They are different in structure, but perform same function and may superficially look alike in entirely different species are called analogous organs. The wings of an insect and the bird are analogous organ. It is so because both these organs is entirely different. Animals perform similar function, that is, they are used for flying in the air. However, they are very different in structure. Insect wing is a fold of membrane which is supported with few muscles. Wings of a bird are formed of limbs, bones covered with flesh, skin and feathers. Yes, the insects and birds have evolved from separate ancestral population but perform similar functions. The wing of a bat, it's a mammal, right? And the wing of a bird are analogous organ. The wings of a bat are skin folds. You might have seen a bat wings, right? Wings of a bat are a skin fold stretched mainly between the elongated fingers. The wings of a bird are feathery, covering all along the arm. The basic designs of the wings of a bat and the bird, their structures and components are very different. They only look similar because both are adapted for flying, but their origins are not common. Clear? Okay. Next, we are going to see about the vestigial organs. The organs which occur in reduced form and are useless to the processor but are homologous to the fully developed functional organs in the ancestors or related forms are called vestigial organ. Organs which occur in a reduced form and are useless to the organism but are homologous to the fully developed and functional organs in the ancestors or related forms are called vestigial organs. Vermiform appendix. Look at the appendix picture here. You might have studied that vermiform appendix in the digestive system, right? Vermiform appendix of a large intestine and nictitating membrane in the eye of a human being or vestigial organ. Vermiform appendix is a blind tube at the end of the cecum of a large intestine in certain mammals, including human beings. In herbivorous mammal, it is large structure and serves for the digestion of cellulose contents of the food by a bacterial action. In human being, the habit of taking soft and cooked food has reduced the need for bacterial digestion. The appendix has constantly reduced and serves no useful role. Nictitating membrane, that is third eyelid, is merely small pinkish triangular flap in the inner angle of each eye in human being. It has become reduced and non-functional in the course of time because the cornea of the eye in human being is cleaned and protected by the upper eyelid. Nictitating membrane is well developed and functional in birds. In birds, you might have seen a membrane that will be covering the full eye, right? And after that, once it is covered, it again comes to its back to its original position. So, nictitating membrane is well developed and functional in birds to provide protection to the eye. These organs were fully developed, functional, and necessary in ancestral forms. However, these are gradually disappearing in the living forms due to change in their mode of life. Remaining things we'll be seeing in the next class, students. Thank you.